Psychic attacks. Negative spirit entities are always involved in a psychic attack, whether the attack is purposely or unintentionally directed. If an individual has become a biological host for a spirit entity, unbeknownst to them, and he or she becomes extremely angry at another person, a strong psychic connection between the biological host and the spirit entity will immediately dispatch the spirit entity to punish the designated target. This reaction is part of a spiritual code, an unwritten law, wherein the spirit entity will naturally protect its investment by keeping its feeding source protected. This also has the effect of increasing the spirit entity's control over its living host, as well as giving the spirit entity the opportunity to find a potential new host and/or drain them of life force energy. One example of this would be certain couples who continually fight and never resolve the differences. The more energy the spirit entity has to work with, the more powerful and influential it can become. During a mild psychic attack, the victim may feel pressure within their head, anxiety, disturbed sleep and bad dreams. More intense psychic attacks can involve waves of mind-numbing terror, crippling physical pain and overwhelming emotional compulsions. These types of psychic attacks can be lethal. The psychic attacks initiated by a black sorcerer are considered to be a type of paranormal assault that can be directed onto people, animals, places or things, causing physical or mental distress, illness, injury or death. In ancient China, unscrupulous sorcerers or dark Taoists would sometimes use advanced energetic and spiritual skills, known as Hun Shu, skill of the ethereal soul, Mo Shu, magic skill, or Yi Shu, skill of intention, to energetically and spiritually attack certain individuals. This dark skill of sorcery could also be initiated by creating an image or likeness of the intended victim and infusing it with breath and talismanic water so as to control, attack or destroy the individual, similar to the Haitian practice of voodoo. The most common symptoms of a psychic attack include inexplicable outbreaks of fire. 19. Poltergeist phenomena, nightmares, the presence of bruises on the body after a night of spiritual attacks, feelings of overwhelming dread and fear, which deteriorate into nervous exhaustion, mental breakdown and a physical wasting away of body tissue, and awakening with a feeling of a crushing weight on the chest and a feeling of paralysis, known as a HAG syndrome. A psychic attack is said to occur either as the result of human direction or of human assault, described as follows. Human direction. This type of attack is directed by a sorcerer conjuring malevolent thought form clusters, curses, malevolent spirits, or demons through spirit spell incantations. Human assault. This type of attack is directed personally by a malevolent individual who is soul traveling. Recognizing a psychic attack. As soon as you begin to suspect that your trouble may be linked to a psychic attack or be of occult magic in origin, it is important to immediately begin to seriously study your dreams. Each psychic attack must begin at some time to declare and manifest its energetic nature on the spirit realm. Therefore, by keeping a dream diary, and recording every dream or fragment of dream that you can recall, you will be able to locate and isolate any recurring energetic patterns. The best way to accomplish this is to keep a scratch pad and pen beside your bed and immediately jot down anything that you recall of your dreams upon waking. The purpose is to try to get a clear view of anything that may have been implanted into your unconscious mind. Any information that can be gleaned from your dreams may yield a very clear indication as to what types of countermeasures need to be initiated. For example, an energetic current can sometimes be reversed simply by rejecting it and turning it back to its originator. When encountering a psychic attack, much of the effectiveness of the attack depends on the degree of your psychic receptivity. What is also taken into account is the patience and magical skill of your adversary, who has probably been over 20. Shadowing you on the spirit realm and waiting for a time of vulnerability. Psychic attacks implanted into the unconscious mind are most often images specifically designed to fit your own personal characteristics and metaphors. This is because the attack would immediately fail if the imagery or underlying impulses are too alien to you. Therefore, the attacker will use simple archetypal material based on extrapolating feelings and impulses common to all human beings. In traditional sorcery, some amount of personal material is usually needed in order to individualize and pinpoint an attack. The attacking sorcerer must either acquire some form of physical material, hair, nails, clothing, etc., or psychic material, based on an intimate understanding of the victim's weaknesses and deep idiosyncrasies. If the attack stems from a non-human energetic form, it is important to note that most spirit entities have highly acute powers of observations and a powerful ability to mimic the energetic images of people and animals. In such cases, an attacking spirit entity can transform themselves into the image of a desired or repulsive individual and initiate an emotional encounter. It is important to understand that a psychic attack is never truly one-sided. The attacker uses something of yours to implant into your psyche something of his or hers. If and when this exchange occurs, the main difference between the attacking sorcerer's condition and your victimization is that the attacking sorcerer seems now to be in control of the situation. A psychic attack takes considerable time, thought and energy to carry through. Every psychic transaction necessitates the opening of an energetic channel that connects the attacker to his or her victim and vice versa, in a form of energetic osmosis. This is why, in many cases of psychic attacks, the sorcerer will frequently take the precaution of working through a summoned elemental or trance medium. If the victim or a sorcerer working on behalf of the victim simply reverses the circuit, the energetic rebound will not necessarily go back towards the attacking sorcerer but will rebound onto the elemental or trance medium instead.